Batman vs Superman.
Yeah.
It wasn't that kind of bad. Like Justice League and Batman vs Superman were bad in my opinion because they left out, like, there was a lot of plot points that didn't go anywhere and things like that. Not a lot of comic relief, which I'm not ever really bothered by. Now I feel like Black Adam had too much comic relief and was just such a rigid and boring storyline. And there's only the only good actors in that film were The Rock and maybe the guy who played Dr. What's his name?
Pierce Brosnan. They said, I heard Pierce Brosnan was all right.
He was good.
When he was not in his Dr. Fate.
Yeah, costume. When he was not Dr. Fate. I mean, when he was in his Dr. Fate costume, he didn't need to act. He didn't. You don't see him. So. True. But other than that, not great.
Yeah. Well, this is supposed to usher in the DC studios.
So revamp.
Yeah.
All right.
So not DCEU anymore. It's going to be DC Studios, and apparently Henry Cavill is going to be just doing cameos for the time being.
No Superman film.
Until they can get it right.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because that should be interesting. I don't want to do spoilers and stuff like that. This isn't the show for that, but
no, he spoiled it already. Like, it's
everybody
spoiled.
knows already.
No, it's spoiled, man. It was spoiled even before the movie came out, bro, because that was the only way that they can get people into the seats.
All right, well, he's there.
Yeah,
I'll say that in case somebody's really good at avoiding the internet. So, anyways, intros.
See, it wouldn't even be avoiding the internet though, because it was in the previews. Like,
was it that I didn't see it?
Yeah, they set it up in the previews. Like it was like a real hinted.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
So,
yeah, it was pretty blatantly obvious. My bad.
Yeah.
Take it away, Call.
Hey, hello. I feel like if somebody was listening to the show right now, they're like, maybe I missed the intro. Maybe this is the wrong show.
100%.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm here to listen to. This is the 5 on 5 podcast presented to you by directmusicservice.com. Promo code 5 on 5 FIVEON FIVE is going to save you about 30% off your first month subscription. Go ahead and grab those new edits from me over there. Bunch of new Phenom edits up on Direct Music Service this morning. All sort. Travis, I see you're surprised. What is over there?
No, I'm just saying welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome again.
A bunch of edits from me, as well as all the contributors, all the homies over there. And our buddy Andy Uwops is signing up for DMS, and I told him, I'm going to be honest with you, Andy, about 95% of the music I play in open format clubs is from directmusicservice.com.
Right.
Shout out to those guys. And I got to give a shout out to one of my favorite editors right now, Simo. Simo's making some really, really good indie rock edits over there. So big ups to him and the rest of the crew. But yeah, we're also sponsored by Nuke's Hot Sauce. Make sure you go get some hot sauce. Promo code 5 on 5 will get you some hot sauce. Shout out to Jake and the whole team over there. Obviously, as we mentioned last week, that very hot Chipotle made with a little bit of Reaper, a little ghost pepper. That's going to be the jam. That's the one you're going to want to check out. Just throw that in with a little chili. It's chili season. It's soup season. It's hot sauce season.
It's hot sauce season.
Yeah.
It's hot sauce season, man.
I want to do some intros, but before I get into that, Neek, what's your stance on soup?
We're good on soup.
For my rolling tally of things that Neek will and won't eat.
We're good on soup. Soup's good.
Not all soups.
Not all soups.
Not all soups are created equal.
They're not.
I'm more of I like a ramen, pho, or stew.
Okay.
Not so much like a tomato soup, but I treat it like a dipping sauce.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna like eat a spoonful of like, and I definitely don't like what's that shit like chowder. I'm not a chowder person.
Okay.
But you're not a seafood person either, right? That's a
right.
fair...
So
that goes hand in hand a little bit.
That goes hand in hand.
Yeah, a little bit.
So
what about a bisque, a lobster bisque?
Yeah, no.
No.
I definitely don't. I just don't fuck with shellfish.
You said lobster.
Yeah. Once the lobster's out. Shellfish, absolutely not.
If you said bisque, maybe he would have had a second thought about it.
Tomato bisque.
See?
Okay. It's like a lobster bisque? No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I don't fuck with shellfish. In my mind, they're bugs.
That's fair.
Fair.
They're the bugs of the sea. They're just water bugs.
That's fair.
And
that
doesn't sit right with me. I know people disagree with that or just don't care, and that's fine. I'm good.
Nika's a man of his man. Hey, wait a minute, Colin. What are you about to get into? Because I have a quick question.
I was just gonna announce who the hell you guys are. We got Nick Soup Season Lopez coming to you via Las Vegas, and the man with the plan down the street from me. One half of tonight's performance is Vespers. I was
just going to say, is that tonight or was that last night?
Tonight. That's tonight. Depending on when you're listening.
True.
It was 5 years ago. You just missed it.
You just missed it.
These episodes will be archived and you'll be listening to this years from now when there's not DJs anymore. It's automated robots playing you music. At one time, the boys used to be DJs, believe it or not. Whenever you're listening to this, we're recording this live on Wednesday, October 26th, 2022.
You ready for our guest?
I think I'm ready for our guest.
Okay.
I'm ready for our guest.
And we have
our special guest today coming to you live from the East Coast. I think he's on the East Coast. We got to tap in and see. There we go.
I'm like, where am I going?
Yeah.
Now we just had you sitting in the green room for a minute, B.
Yeah.
Get my mind right. I appreciate it. How y'all doing?
Doing good. Doing good. Man. Our special guest today, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for him. DJ Cuzzin B.
Boom, 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 boom.
Air horns galore. Where are you? Where in the world is Cousin San Diego right now?
I am in Washington, D.C. I'm actually at NPR headquarters. Just finished up a little bit of work.
Cool.
Yeah, man.
Cool.
East Coast, Northeast, D.C., North Carolina. Shout out Northwest. Shout out Northeast, Northwest.
Hell yeah. How was the weekend? Did you gig at all?
Did I gig? Where was I? No, actually, I did not gig. I took the weekend off because I was in Jackson, Mississippi at my alma mater, Jackson State's homecoming.
Shout out HBCU, best homecomings in the land. Come on.
Yeah, so
let's go.
So I had a tough choice to make, but I chose properly. I chose self-care because I only had 48 hours this year for homecoming because Thursday, the day prior, was my 10-year wedding anniversary. So I had to stay back on my 10-year wedding anniversary. But my wife said, look, let's do dinner. Just give me one night. Then you can go kick it with your boys. So they were asking me if I wanted to DJ the alumni party. And I was like, listen, I haven't been to homecoming in 3 years. I got to kick it with my boys. So I took the weekend off and just enjoyed the festivities.
Because you could have easily stepped in there and shut that shit down so quickly.
Well, I mean, you know how we do. You know how we do.
Yeah, I know.
It's more than just stepping into a venue and working. Guys like us, we want to make sure we're prepped right, and it's hours of work before you even get 100%. To the spot. So I just thought about that, and I said, you know what, I'm just gonna hang out.
Now I have a question. Regional rap. What is the go-to sleeper cut down there?
DC.
Don Jackson.
Oh my God. Well, listen. It really depends. You never go wrong, not regional anymore, but like David Banner is like Jackson's son. So anytime you throw on some Banner, when I was there, when I was in Jackson State, in the late 90s, it was the rise of Master P. It was the rise of Cash Money. a lot of Memphis, a lot of Hypnotized Minds, a lot of that stuff would go off. You know what I mean? So it was real South heavy before the South really took over. You know, listen, I went to school with those people from all over. And Southern hip hop at the time, depending on where you were and who you were, it did not get the respect that it deserved, right? In a lot of cases, people used to make fun of that stuff. I mean, it's funny how the tables turned.
Yes.
But in the late 90s, yeah, it was all about East Coast, West Coast. You know what I mean? It was real heavy East Coast, and South was just trying to find their way and fight their way into the scope. You know, you look 20, 25 years later, everybody's chasing that sound. Not everybody, but a lot of the mainstream hip hop is chasing that Southern feel.
Yes.
Yeah, it's true. You know, it seems like everything nowadays. There was a moment where everyone was trying to copy the Migos flow, and then everyone sort of shifted to Juicy J, Project Pat.
That's what I was gonna mention. I was gonna say, I think it really happened and it really became like obvious when A$AP Rocky and whatever crew he was messing with, I forgot what they were called, the guys from Florida, when he first came out, and they were all on that triple, like on that 3-6 shit, like purple everything, talking about sipping and
Hypnotized Mind, Juicy J, and DJ Paul. Think about what hip hop sounds like today. There's a debt that the culture owes them and their production style, because my God, that's just the sound, that's the feel. I mean, when you hear like Glorilla, when you hit like that is Memphis. Like they helped establish and like really make that Memphis sound like so dominant even today.
Yes.
They didn't, again, you think about Hypnotized Mind back in the day when I was in college, you know, Tear the Club Up was like a huge record, so much to the point where it was banned in most clubs now. So I couldn't play it. So yeah, just shout out Memphis, shout out Hypnotized Mind, Project Pat, because they never got the respect they deserve. It was dope to see them get honored at the BET Awards with the Loud showcase. So 3-6 got to come out and do their thing, but nah, man, like they never got their just due.
I agree with that. No shit.
Iconic.
I've always thought 3-6 in their heyday, what I would consider their peak, like most known unknown, 2007, 2008, they were still considered like, and they had a hit. They had what was the hit off that one?
Sipping on Scissor was the hit, right?
Yeah. This is after that. They're
Stay Fly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Stay Fly.
So that's huge. And to me, they're still kind of an underground group that even black audiences are like, it's white boy music.
No, they got an Oscar.
Well, yeah, and so I think like, but still felt like we were making fun of Southern rap. Like it still didn't feel.
Well, it's not a mainstream sound. It's an underground. It's a gritty sound.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. It's not polished. It's very dark and just. It was never made for the radio. They just happened to infiltrate. You know what I mean?
At some point, it just kind of got that big. It just
yeah. The people made them sort of what they.
Before we get into it, can I put in a request for a Project Pat Tiny Desk?
Hey, listen.
I would love that.
He was at the BET Awards, and I was thinking about the same thing. And I was thinking about like, can I run over there and ask him if he would want to do it, or if he even knows what it is? But nah, listen, that would be crazy.
Yeah,
I love that. I would love that. Yeah. Like a small live band and Pat.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to make it bigger. I need to see 3-6 Mafia there. I need to see Gangsta Boo
You know
there.
They would show up. You know they would all show up.
No, I need an extended.
But I don't want to see a 3-6 Tiny Desk, even though I do. I want to see a Project Pat featuring everybody.
Yeah. Just everybody come in and out.
Doing like, imagine Project Pat playing Gorilla Pimp behind the Tiny Desk.
Right.
I would love that.
But don't save her. Come on, man.
Come on.
Man, Drake and Pat on Knife Talk with 21 Tiny Desk. Come on.
Yeah. Think about if Project Pat was on Tiny Desk and Drake just featured. Just had Drake just come out one time. Yeah,
he's out.
This building would tip over, man.
Man. That'd be legendary.
He can't even be mad at it. That's how prolific Pat is.
Yeah.
You can't even be mad if you're Drake and you're the +1.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna say?
Drake's been +1 before though.
Yeah,
Drake has been
it's
+1.
Pat, bro.
He's been
Nobody's
+1
gonna,
before at Tyler's concert. So
Yeah,
it's Pat, bro. We can't.
and that's another thing. That's another thing too. All that horrorcore owes ages of debt
100%.
to Tyler and everything, Uzi and all of that.
Mhm.
Well, they
They were scared.
100%.
Like in '97, when Tear the Club Up came out, it was scary because people really did it. I watched it. It was the two songs that just the promoters would not let us play were Tear the Club Up and No Playing GA by Pastor Troy.
Oh, come on.
It was just like a no-go. Like, nah, don't do it. Don't tear my shit up. Like, it was like, those were the two. But yeah, like, when you think about the Grave Diggers and the Flatliners, like 3-6, like
Necro.
They did that. Necro, they did that too. Like, in a real way.
Yeah.
That horrorcore shit was for real, and 3-6 was on. It's triples. It's 666. Like that's what their whole shit is, and I think people forget. Like Hypnotized Minds. Like it's horrorcore.
Yeah.
It just happened to be horrorcore with some pimp shit too. And I don't know. I think it was the coolest mixture that just doesn't get enough.
You didn't see that a lot from Black acts though.
No,
you saw.
That's what I mean. That's why I think a lot of people felt like this is some white boy
Priest.
shit.
Yeah.
Nah, it was cool. It was fucking cool. The original Afro punk, 3-6 Mafia.
Fam.
And it's amazing to think about songs that would be banned now, because the last one I can think of that was possibly close to that is Knuck If You Buck. And that was, decades ago, where it's like, don't play Knuck If You Buck.
Yeah.
Bia.
I was going to say all the Little John Eastside Boys
I have
stuff.
to be very careful to play Bia.
But what was it? I'm still like, obviously stuck a song like Tear the Club Up was like telling you what to do, but like the other songs, it's just like, it's just what was it about it that just conjured up that type of energy to get people that roused up on the dance floor to want to commit like
it's that frequency, man.
Violence.
It's that frequency. It's hitting that right frequency. I think it's something
about those heavy bass lines.
Yeah.
The vocals where it's multiple people yelling the vocals.
Yeah.
And then like throw your set up, where you from, that kind of shit.
And then like, the bass line under that, like that, like on no Playing GA is just.
It's just it sounds like a trunk. The club sounds like somebody's trunk. I'm throwing gang signs up.
And you got to be very careful too with your group, because like say you're gonna get a drink, right? And your group is over here, and you trying to get back to your group, and that song come on. You stuck. Come on.
See you outside, homeboy.
Right.
A lot of spilled drinks. That's what started all the fights. It was all the spilled drinks.
It probably was.
Drinks.
It wasn't anything else. It was like
it's rowdy. Plus, everybody's trying to be fresh. It's a wrap. Somebody's getting their teeth kicked in.
I love that energy. I miss the crunk era. I was never ever mad at the crunk era. And today, when I do, no matter who I'm playing for, to this day, when I'm doing a crunk set between like, I don't know, 2009, 2012, that always gets the biggest reaction. Like no matter what, like I don't care. I mean, nowadays we can talk about it, but like the attention span with these newer records are just so short. Like, you have to run through like a hook and keep it moving with some of these newer records. You know what I mean? But like, Snap Your Fingers or any of that Little John shit or any of that kind of stuff, like they go crazy still, man.
When I went to Lovers and Friends, and like the big finale was Little John, Usher, and Ludacris all together. And I mean, that's great, but it's shit we hear all the time. I wasn't that like interested. I was like, let me go see what's going on with the locks in the back. But when Little John come on, he starts doing all that East Side Boys shit. I haven't sprinted that much since I was in high school. I sprinted to that stage.
It's such a distinct sound, and I
heard do, and I just fucking took off.
It's wild to think the trajectory Lil Scrappy was on too.
Lil
Scrappy would have been massive.
Yeah, he was there. He was
no
there.
problems, head busters like those. Like,
Oh my God.
And then he had the look too, you know, like what was that? The No Problems video. It was such a hard song, but then he came walking into the club with a suit on. He had a suit. You remember he had the tie, loose tie, and then the ball cap. And it was like that was a good contrast.
The draft day outfit.
Yeah,
draft day outfit.
Like he had the crunk joints, but then he had a joint on there with God, what was the name? But I think it was 50 was on the hook. Was that I think that was a Scrappy song. I gotta look it up. But Scrappy had like, it was a joint. It was all not boom bap, but it had like a bounce to it, man.
You might have to bring that back. I don't know.
Scrappy had some shit, man.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it was Scrappy and 50 Cent. It was called What's Up. That was a joint. I just pulled up Serato.
Yeah.
Yo, have you been fucking with the new Serato at all yet? The stems?
With stems?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I pulled it out. I tried it once, but that one time I was up for 3 hours messing around with it, just picking any random song, just staring at my computer. I called my wife from downstairs, like, yo, I'm like, this is the iPhone. This is it. Like, I still cannot believe the shit that you can do with this stems, with stems, man. And I've been moving around and traveling a lot, so I haven't had time to really sit down with it. But I'm good friends with Ninth Wonder, the producer Ninth Wonder.
Shout out.
And he was one of the first guys to get the beta first. And some of the beats, he has already been cooking.
Yep.
Just cooking beats. See you later. Cooking beats like nonstop, taking like the Mary Jane Girls drums and like doing like an Anita Baker loop. Like he's been cooking beats. Like now I was on FaceTime with him for like a couple hours just watching him cook up beats on it. But it's like, it's mind blowing, yo. It's the possibilities are endless, yo.
We got the pleasure of listening to a set of somebody playing with stems.
You can say the name.
Brunch.
You can say the name.
Shout out to P Dot. Shout out to P Dot.
He's a friend of the show and a past guest.
Show. Well, I mean, I was getting to it. I was just,
mystery guest.
I was getting to it. Yeah. But we had brunch and he used the new Serato in public. And man, it just sounds mixes that it's cool to hear it in a real life setting. Right. Everybody's like, oh, I'm going to make this quick mashup or this quick blend. And they post it on Instagram. They're like, oh, I'm about to go crazy. But hearing it in a real life set where it's like, I'm doing a blend, like I'm using this as the transition. So instead of like these two beats playing together and EQing it out, it's like, I'm just dropping the vocal here and dropping the beat on this one. And then gonna switch it, and it's just fucking. It's the coolest thing to hear because now it's like, oh, we're really hearing mashups into the song, into a mashup, into the song, and it's
so crazy. The first thing we said was, oh, you got to be on the new Serato, and I think that's all the new DJs now. When they hear a set, their knee-jerk reaction is that the new Serato?
Yeah, we were both like, I was like, is that an edit or is that Serato?
It's going to be interesting to see how it pans out because obviously everybody's jumping at it. It's exciting. We're always, as DJs, we're always looking for new ways to kind of impact the crowd. But like, it's really about how you use it, right? You can't just do a whole set with just a different mashup or a different blend with everything. It's really about the nuggets that you throw in to even get the crowd involved or just subtleties. You know what I mean? To me, I think using it subtly and really kind of playing around with it, I think that's going to be the thing because not to say it's going to get old because, it's super exciting. That
anything gets old though. Yeah.
But it's about how you use it. Really. So I'm excited to, cook up ideas and hear other DJs because I mean, these DJs nowadays, man.
I mean, imagine if you're like a mic guy, like you're always on the mic. Instead of dropping the volume or using the fader, you just cut the vocals. And now you're talking over the beats on, but you're just talking over the vocals, and you can bring the vocals back when you're done. Like that's
Great. We got people talking all night now, as if we didn't have people on the mic enough.
Right.
It's just gonna be barring up.
If you were born in January, make some
on
noise.
the mic.
Yeah.
We don't need the mic man to know about Serato stems. Yo, drop the vocal.
I'm about to fucking bar up real quick.
Yo, yeah. The nightclub rapper that hops on and goes, let me hop on real quick. Oh,
yo, no. DJ, I heard you could just drop the vocals.
Yeah, man.
Get you to 16 right quick.
They won't even know.
They're holding up the phone now. It just says play the instrumental, and it's no, leave me alone.
Is that beta? Is that you rocking on stems?
Yeah, is that stems?
Is that stems? Yo?
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Just the vocal. That's a mess. Well, what we do around here every week, we compare two artists head to head, their top 5 songs as viewed most popular on Spotify. We go 5 rounds. It gets weird. It gets interesting. You have to pick a this or a that based upon which song you love more. And this week is Neek's pick. Neek, what do you got for us?
Today I woke up feeling very rappy. So I got the Beatnuts versus the Alkaholiks.
Okay.
East Coast versus West Coast.
I love that.
Round 1, what do we got?
We got Beatnuts with Saakabo versus Alkaholiks, Make Room. Also, if you guys, I'm Cuzzin B, you're new to the show, so if you need to like brush up, just mute your mic. You can go ahead and jump on Spotify. But Saakabo versus the from the Beatnuts versus the Alkaholiks, Make Room. You get first pick.
I mean, I'm going straight off the gut. I know the song, so I'm going straight off the gut, and we're gonna go with Make Room on this one.
Cool.
I'm gonna follow you on that one just because that Beatnuts tracks became such a huge TikTok song. That's why it's number 1 right now. So they're just pumping it in everyone's head.
As it become big on TikTok.
Shout out to Beatnuts, man.
Yeah. It's a banger, but it's huge. Yeah, Neek, it's made its way as viral status, like Dancing Queen and all that. So
wow, I didn't even know.
Once TikTok gets a hold of it, it could really make for a headache.
Yeah.
I got to take a break from it. I'm going Alkaholiks on that.
Word up.
Trav.
Alkaholiks, Make Room, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sweet. Round 2.
Beatnuts, Off the Books.
Don't
versus
do it, Neek.
Alkaholiks, Damn.
Ooh.
Off the Books. Off the Books is going to be a sweep for me for a lot of competition with the Beatnuts if that was up for something.
We off the hook this year.
Yeah. Off the Books is one of the best posse cuts of all time.
Man. All time.
I'm right there with you guys. Like,
okay, good. I was worried for a second. You were just smiling.
Everything you're saying, yeah.
Man, oh man, I just think about who was on that. Man.
Yeah.
That flute, come on, man.
Yeah.
Off the Books might be one of my favorite rap hooks.
And they only did it once, right? The hook is at the end, right?
Yo, it's like 3 verses before you get to the hook. And I only know that because I play it out. And every time I'm like, damn, I forgot.
Yeah, it's just a
We're going to be listening to this song for a while.
Yeah. Piss break.
Yeah.
Pun went crazy. Pun started it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He went crazy.
That shit is crazy. Round 3. Damn, Beatnuts, Watch Out Now versus Alkaholiks, The Next Level.
That's a little easier for me.
Yeah.
Watch out now. Beatnuts.
Yeah.
Beatnuts is sweet, neat.
Yeah. Cool.
And then J-Lo on there. Don't be fooled by the
I got. Exactly.
With Kiss.
With Kiss.
Yeah.
Who did that? Was that Gotti? Did he produce that one?
Gotti made beats?
Oh my God, bro! Yes,
Gotti is not having a good day. By the way, I don't know if you guys know.
Oh no, what did he do?
Well, Shanti has finally she did an interview with Angie Martinez.
Oh God,
about all the stuff. Yeah, she is
because Irv was just running his mouth for the past 6 months.
He is letting the yop. She fell back, and now she is letting that chopper ring off.
Wow, good for her. Good for her.
Good for her, definitely. Yeah, definitely good for her.
Good for her. She just popped up on that that Diddy remix, the Queen's remix of "Gotta Move On." Fire, fire verse on that one.
We're gonna talk Ashanti in the lightning round for sure.
Oh yeah,
she's part of the lightning round.
Queen.
So.
Jenny from the Block was produced by Troy Oliver, Corey Rooney, and Poke and Tone.
Oh, okay.
Not Beatminers, Trackmasters.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's Trackmasters. Mm-hmm. Okay. I was like, I feel like I've heard of Poke and Tone, but
Trackmasters. Yo, if you have, speaking of Trackmasters, I don't want to hold everything.
Oh, please.
No.
But Trackmasters deserves, I don't know if it's a documentary or a whole episode of this podcast, like something like.
No, we need a doc.
Yo.
We got a doc on the if we got a doc on the Dungeon Family, we need a doc on Trackmasters.
I was just gonna say like a Dungeon Family type documentary.
Yeah.
Trackmasters had a chokehold on the game for
100%.
Close to a decade, if not more.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah. They're very influential for I shouldn't say influential, instrumental or LL Cool J's rise again in the 90s, man.
His second coming.
Yeah. Like boom bap, like they bridged the gap between like grimy boom bap and like the bad boy sound. Like they just brought those worlds together like so seamlessly.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just
you're good.
Please don't apologize.
That's what this is for. Yes.
I want to do a Trackmaster set tonight. Shit.
Yeah. Fuck it. Round 4. What we got?
Round 4, we got Let Off a Couple from the Beatnuts versus Hip Hop Junkies from Alkaholiks.
I gotta go Hip Hop Junkies. That might have been the first Alkaholiks.
Is that the one with ODB? Is Hip Hop Junkies the one with ODB?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yo, I'm an alcoholic. Yep.
Yeah, that might have been the first Alkaholiks song I heard though.
That's the first one
I got introduced to.
Man, that shit. Woo.
That's hell yeah.
I'm going to let off a. Ooh. Man. Okay.
This matchup was way cooler than I expected.
Yeah. Neat.
Yo, round 5 is going to be the tiebreaker. So
yeah. Okay, let's go.
Beatnuts, Let's Get Dough versus Alkaholiks, Best You Can.
That's easy for me.
Oh, Beatnuts.
Beatnuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Best You Can, not the
No, I'm sorry. I'm tripping. I'm saying Best You Can. That's early Neptune's class. That's
Neptune's.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. As soon as you hear it, you'll know it.
Okay.
I'm going Alkaholiks on that. The licks.
Alkaholiks.
The licks. Yeah, not Alkaholiks. The licks.
Hell yeah. Trav, where are you going on that one?
I'm going Beatnuts, but yeah, I forgot about that one. I forgot about the Alkaholiks song with the licks. Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot later that they became the licks. Like, I've never obviously it's a marketing thing, but like,
of course. Yeah. I'm surprised it went on that long, but in the 90s, anything that you can do anything.
True.
Anything. I'm excited to get into the lightning round with you because you know a lot of music. Cuzzin B knows a lot of fucking music. Yeah. And I'm here to throw music from all angles. So the lightning round is you tell me the one you want to keep and the other disappears from your Serato, disappears from your brain, Air 404 for the rest of time. Okay. You go to pull that album, it's not there. It's dust. Starting with Yeah Yeah Yeahs or No Doubt.
Come on, man. What is this? Are you fucking kidding me? We're gonna keep No Doubt.
God, this is good.
Yes. Come on, man. The open format sets need that.
It's starting off rough.
If we started like that, then this is gonna be this is gonna be a long lightning round.
Yep. Thundercat or Toro y Moi?
We keep it Thundercat.
Okay. Lakeside or Ohio Players?
Oh. We're gonna keep the Ohio Players though.
Okay.
Bye, Fantastic Voyage.
I know.
LCD Sound System or The Strokes?
LCD. We're gonna keep LCD.
Okay. Doors or Nirvana?
Nirvana.
Okay. Rocky or Tyler?
Rocky or Tyler? Now that's tricky because are we talking about our sets? We're talking about our DJ sets, right?
We're talking about existence.
Existence.
We get into semantics when we're like 5 rounds in.
I'm playing way more Rocky in my DJ sets, but in my life, I'm playing way more Tyler. We're gonna keep Tyler.
Okay. Fleetwood Mac or Tom Petty?
We're gonna keep Fleetwood Mac.
Okay. Diddy or JD?
This is tougher than people may think, especially with the whole versus talk. I put some respect on JD's name, but I won't now. I'm gonna say Diddy.
Okay. Okay. Fair. This will be tough too. Limp Bizkit or Korn?
Ooh. I watched that Woodstock 99 documentary the other day, and did you guys see both? Have you seen those Woodstock 99 documentaries?
Yeah.
Did you see that crowd when Limp Bizkit was on stage?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Oh, yeah.
I've never seen anything like that before. I'm gonna keep Korn though.
Okay.
Okay.
Dilla or Pete Rock?
I'll see y'all later, man.
And that's the show for the day.
And that's the show.
Cuzzin B.
Cuzzin B, ladies and gentlemen.
And a no pick will delete both of them out of existence.
Yeah.
So if you want to
No, that can't happen. Damn, man. We're gonna.
It's tough being on the record for any picks. To be on the record for any pick.
I'm thinking about who's gonna be like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? I'm gonna keep Dilla though. I'm gonna keep Dilla.
Okay. Yeah. Jay-Z or Future?
We're keeping Jay-Z.
Okay. Chili Peppers or MGMT?
We're keeping the Chili Peppers.
Okay. Ashanti or Sierra?
We're gonna keep Ashanti.
Okay. Lauryn Hill or Shaka Khan?
We're keeping Shaka Khan.
Okay. Calvin Harris or Soulja Boy?
Oh wow. That's hilarious. Well, there is no Calvin Harris without Soulja Boy, right?
He did it first.
Okay.
Yep. Tough one.
Keep Calvin Harris. We're gonna keep Calvin Harris.
Okay.
Hell yeah. A bit spicier, Roots or NERD?
Oh boy. Oh my God. Ooh. NERD, right? Not the Neptunes.
Correct.
NERD, not the Neptunes.
We're still gonna keep the Roots.
Okay. Drake or Dr. Dre?
Dr. Dre. We're keeping Dr. Dre.
Okay. Sade or Aaliyah?
We're keeping Sade.
Okay. Let's get down to the nitty gritty here. Let's go with Beatles or Beach Boys?
We're keeping the Beatles.
Okay. Missy or Busta?
Ooh. That is cruel. We're keeping Busta. Oh.
Busta's just in the back flexing,
right?
Real strong,
yeah.
Neck out to here. Pac or Biggie?
Oh, he almost left again.
This is unfair, man. We're keeping Pac.
Okay. Prince or Michael?
Oh, stop this now. Stop this, man.
You'd think Pac versus Biggie would be the worst one, but it's never.
Oh, God. We're keeping Michael Jackson.
Okay. Mariah or Whitney?
We're keeping Mariah.
Oh.
Okay. Last but not least, we ask it every single week on the show: Outcast or Hall & Oates?
What? Oh God, are you kidding me? This should not be tough, but it's the hardest one. Damn. We're keeping Outcast though. We're keeping Outcast.
Okay.
Damn.
All right. You survived the lightning round, barely.
Barely made it.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, he almost walked out.
Yo. Wild.
That's
Wild.
I love it.
I want to get into some history as you as a DJ and you working with Tiny Desk. Where did your DJ career start? What was the beginning of that?
The beginning started back in St. Louis in my hometown. My friends and I used to go to this skating rink called Saints back in the day when we were like 14, 15 years old. And you can either, when you walk into Saints, you can either go straight to the skating rink, put your skates on the skate, or you can go to the party room, this dark party room where you can just go and kick it, talk to girls or whatever. I always used to go to the party room because I wasn't a great skater. But I remember the first time I went to the party room, that was the first time the DJ like completely like stopped me in my tracks. He was like elevated, probably not elevated now. I was 14, 15, but at the time it just looked like he was like elevated like 20 feet in the air. And I just stopped and I was just staring at him because he was controlling this whole room of teenagers. He was just getting busy. He was probably playing at the time Ain't No Future in Your Front and by MC Breed or some shit like that. But like, it stopped me in my tracks, right? And I came to find out, I learned to find out that it was a DJ by the name of DJ Cut, who also used to play on the radio back in St. Louis. So every weekend, every weekend, every Saturday when we would go to Saints, I would go straight to the party and just stare at the DJ, watch the crowd, watch the DJ. So that's when I kind of figured out like, yo, I want to do that, right? Because I had seen DJs before. I remember when I was a kid watching DJ Scratch do his Jason routine. So I remember all of that kind of stuff, but I was just intrigued at the time. I didn't really know that I wanted to do that until I got to the skating rink. So fast forward a couple years, senior year in high school, a friend of mine who's still DJing in the city today, my boy DJ Reminisce, he bought a set of turntables, and we just used to practice and play on him. But actually before that, we would do house parties with a Radio Shack mixer and two big ass CD players. And we would do the house parties that way and try to beat match. It was probably terrible. But senior year in high school is when we really started to dip off into DJing. By the time I graduated high school, I learned we learned how to blend records. I got to the point where I knew how to do it. Didn't know how to rock a crowd really yet, but I really, really got my feet wet once I moved to Jackson, Mississippi, to attend Jackson State. Link with another group of DJs, about 6 or 7 of us. And from there, I DJ all 4 years at Jackson State. And that's when I really, really learned how to rock crowds, doing everything on campus, all the fraternity and sorority parties, everything on campus, everything off campus. That's when I really got my feet wet. So really, I was stamped the name DJ. They used to call me DJ Cuzzin Bobby because it was country. My boy Jay Clip, my partner and my friend Jay Clip named me Cuzzin Bobby because he used to introduce me as his cousin, even though we were not cousins in any way. And that's when everybody around campus used to just call me, "Hey, Cuzzin Bobby, hey, Cuzzin Bobby." I got mentored up and really learned how. I was the way I really learned how to like perfect blends and really learn how to get sharp was my mentor, one of my mentors, DJ Scrap, used to lock me into his walk-in closet and he would turn it up. He said, "I'm not letting you out of this closet until the blend is seamless." So that's how we really, really got sharp. And then the next night, I would just pick his records as he played, right? Carry the crates, pick his records as he played. And then finally one night he asked if I wanted to jump on, and it was on from there.
Do you remember some of those early formative records where you're like, I have to have this on wax to play out?
Yeah, man. Juvenile High. Back when we were back at home practicing, it was a lot of Big L records, a lot of Premier records, Fay Band by Screwball. Slum Village was, early Slum Village, like Players was out then on 12-inch, and all of that type of stuff. So that's when we really, really learn a lot of white labels, because my partner DJ Scrap, he had a line into New York, so he would always get a bunch of white labels sent to him. So bunch of Mobb Deep white labels, but in the club it was that, like I said, it was the Cash Money Master P heyday. So we would get like promos of like, we would get like No Limits top priority records where it would have like six joints. What was some of the songs? Freak Hoes by Master P and all of that type of stuff, man. What was the song? Wanna Be a Baller, Shot Caller. I forget the name. Lil Troy.
Yeah.
25 Lighters was a big record then.
Yeah.
Make them say,
all of that kind of stuff. Those were the big club records. A lot of Luke records too. A lot of Luke records.
Where did No Limit go wrong in the longevity?
I think, man, people started to jump ship, man. You know, the roster just started to dwindle down, and I don't know what that was about. I don't know if it was the business. I don't know. And then also a lot of people just started taking that formula, you know. And then it was the time, you know, the moment the Master P thing started to fade out, that's when Cash Money was on their ascent. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like that way between No Limit and Cash Money. I remember like one of the last big No Limit records was when they did the 504 Boys. That was like towards the end of the heyday.
Is that Holler Holler?
Say it again.
Was that Holler Holler?
No, it was Hootie Hoo.
Hootie Hoo, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, man.
I remember.
Were they? Was it too saturated over at No Limit?
I want to say that because that was the secret to success. Really, it was like a record every week.
Yeah,
they dropped an album every week, yo.
I remember
I remember that.
The Silk the Shocker and Trina song.
Silk the Sonic would be a perfect mashup album.
I know that's all.
That was That's Me, or what was the name of that?
I can't remember. It was the video was they were like in the snow.
In the snow, yeah.
Like at a resort.
Yeah.
Trina.
I gotta look it up. Yeah, it's gonna drive me
nuts. That's cool.
That's cool.
That's right.
Silk walked so Blueface could run.
Right.
That's kind of, you know.
He was better though. He was better than a lot. He was way better than Blueface, man.
Here's the thing.
Silk the Shockers. I thought Silk the Shocker had the best verse on Make Him Say.
He got
That's
busy.
just me.
I mean,
I gotta go back and listen to Silk.
It was the thing to do to kind of rank on Silk, but he held it down. Especially when you if you go back now and listen to some of those songs and listen to some of the shit that's going on today, like I don't want to be that guy who's always ranking, because I got respect for a lot of shit that's going on right now that I may or may not rock with personally, but like, come on, man, like you listen back to some of that stuff and it wasn't as bad as we think, you know what I mean?
100%.
When Nori won the BET Award, he got on stage and he's like, I said I would never come back to the BET Awards because the last time I was here, I was in a category with Silk the Shocker and I lost all of them.
Damn.
Yeah, Silk the Shocker cleaned up back in the day, man.
That
just
roster,
hits.
Yeah, that roster was stacked. They had Snoop for a while.
Stacked.
Snoop was a No Limit act for a minute.
Listen, Snoop went on record and said that Master P and No Limit saved his life.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just bought that album, The Last Meal,
and it wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad.
Dr. Dre had that was
a big one. That had
Lay Low was on there.
Lay Low. That was the biggest one on there.
He had the first song on there was the Dr. Dre joint with Sticky Fingers on the hook. I forget the name of it.
The other Say My Name, Snoop Dogg.
Oh yeah.
That was on there.
That beat was so far ahead of its time to me because it has that same like bounce that's going on over the past couple of years here, like 20 years ago.
That album was so tight. And the Dogfather was a No Limit album too.
That's right.
Yes, it was.
No. Dogfather was the last album on Death Row.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it was?
It wasn't. Dr. Dre had no production on it.
Oh,
yeah, because it's not my favorite Snoop album. because it doesn't sound like at all like Doggy Style.
Yeah, Daz and Superfly produced most of the Dogfile.
Yeah,
and the whole thing was like people were kind of like, even me back in the day, was like, where's Dr. Dre? There was no Dr. Dre because by that time Dr. Dre had left
Death Row. Yeah, it's such an interesting source. So the last meal. Did he just do one and done with No Limit?
No, he did two albums.
He did two
albums on No Limit. The first one was No Limit Top Dog, I think.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah, and the second one was Last Meal.
So yep, you're 100%. I was like, damn, what was it called? It was No Limit Top Dog.
Yeah.
That was such a weird album because it had No Limit verses on it. Like Snoop Dogg had a
listen, on No Limit Top Dog was Down for My Niggas was on there, which is still a club banger.
Yes, and it does. If you didn't know any better, you would forget that's a Snoop song.
It's a No Limit song. It's not.
It's a No Limit song with Snoop Dogg on it.
It's a song, really.
Now I'm looking it up because I want to see the track list.
I know, same.
Yeah, it wasn't a great album, but because it was more No Limit stuff on there. Like Beats by the Pound did like a ton of joints on there.
This is crazy. And like even the cover kind of looks like a No Limit album.
Yeah,
like
exactly what it is. Yeah.
Right.
All day.
It's just got font all over it. It's got all the features.
Yeah.
That is a No Limit album. That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy to look back in retrospect. Sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack.
Master P is a genius, man. Genius marketer.
It's wild how sick their rollout schedule was, because you would open up the source and you'd look to that page and it'd be like, we got 10 albums on the way. And this is just for this, what you're looking at this month, you know? Yeah. They're like, go grab all of these. For me, it was the hologram covers. That's what got me. That's always what got me. Like,
man,
MP,
when he's
the
holding the
Dawn,
cross.
Yeah, the Last Dawn, like, fire. Like, of course you want that. No one has that.
Double album. Man, he was making money too. I mean, the deals that he cut, like he was getting, I think he was doing like, it was like 60 to 80%. Like he was making money like no other rapper.
Yeah. You know what I just learned, speaking of double albums, and I don't know, it sounds like Cuzzin B already knows this, but back in the day with hard sales, like physical media, a double album counts as 2 sales.
So
that's why the Eagles' greatest hits is the greatest selling album, because it's a triple disc.
Yeah, man.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, everything, the way they got around that was, we're going to put 10 skits on there.
Yeah.
Right. Double album, you know,
so people would like extend their album.
Yeah. Mr. Ice Cream.
I just learned that. I had no idea.
Was All Eyes? What was the very first double CD in hip hop? Was it? It wasn't.
I think it was. It
was it All Eyes on Me?
I'm wondering if it was or not.
I'm 90% sure, but because you're
Neek,
not
number crunch that.
I'm number crunching that right now.
Because that seems familiar.
I'm 90% sure it's All Eyes on Me.
Nowadays,
no. Oh wait, nope. I'm getting 2 things here. And I have this record, so I don't think this is right. But Google answer, the first thing it says, DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince were the first hip hop artists to release a double album. 1988, He's the DJ, I'm the Rapper, which at 85 minutes warranted a double vinyl package, but was edited by 13 minutes to allow for a single CD release. All Eyes on Me dropped in 96 and was the first double rap album in history.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's probably All Eyes on Me. That's
because it would the Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince got edited down.
Right.
Word up.
Questions for Cuzzin B. Do you remember your first concert?
Ooh. My sister took me to Fresh Fest when I wasn't supposed to be there. But it was technically Fresh Fest. The very first concert I took myself to was probably it was Lost Boys. Patra. I'm giving you the wrong one.
Man.
It was Lost Boys. Okay, it's coming to me. Lost Boys, Patra, Luke,
Ooh.
and Biggie.
What?
All in the same.
That was the lineup. That was the lineup.
Wow.
Yeah.
But picture this. This was Biggie around the Ready to Die day. So Biggie wasn't.
He wasn't Biggie yet.
It's in the Midwest. It's in St. Louis.
Right.
And if you're a rap fan, 9 times out of 10, if you're a hip hop fan in St. Louis, you're West Coast. So this is around the time. This is when the East Coast West Coast thing is brewing. So Biggie was big after the One More Chance remix in St. Louis, but even still, it was heavy West Coast. So I say all that to say, when Luke got off the stage, they didn't want Biggie. They wanted more Luke. So because Luke was doing that shit on stage. Luke had that action on stage.
Yeah.
So that was like the first concert, I believe, that I went to with my boys. Yeah.
A lot of the South is big on West Coast, especially in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
Because of gang culture.
That too, yeah.
A lot of Crip gangs, and a lot of not really as many blood gangs, but a lot of Crip gangs, their parents all came from the South and moved to LA.
Yeah.
So they all still have, like, even in some LA neighborhoods, like, they still have Southern accents.
That's why the gang culture was so crazy in the Midwest, particularly in St. Louis. If you go back and listen to on Death Certificate, Ice Cube's song "My Summer Vacation," he talks about St. Louis.
Yes,
because a lot of the dope dealers would go to the Midwest to sell their dope, but with that too, they brought gang culture. So back in the late 80s, early 90s, like the gang shit, Crips and Bloods, like it was really, really crazy in St. Louis, like really crazy, like to the point where I don't know if it was like this, like, I don't know how it was anywhere else, but like to the point where I remember back in the day, starter jackets were like a big thing, starter coat.
Right.
But
certain
you
teams
couldn't
can't
wear particular starter coats.
Right.
You would kill. You know what I mean? I remember I had a Chicago Bears starter coat, and I could only wear it certain places. And definitely couldn't wear St. Louis Cardinals because people were getting killed, and it all stemmed from the gang shit. You know what I mean? I grew up like it was heavily influenced, like a lot of heavy rolling 60s, a lot of Hoover Crips, a lot of that shit in St. Louis. Yeah.
That was the gateway through the Midwest. Is crazy because
that's
Cameron was rapping about going through Indiana on Oh What a Night on the K Slay tape.
Yeah, that's Freeway Ricky Ross's route.
Right.
That was his route. So
Cam got shot in Indiana. He raps about getting shot, as he was driving up through. And there's a crazy Midwest love for all the No Limit stuff, all the Diplomat stuff, all of that stuff. It's because they were pushing this shit because this was people they were friends with. Like when you're selling tapes out of the trunk, you're like, oh, this is Cameron, like
in a lot of ways, depending on where you are in the South, like where you are in the Midwest, it's really all about the South. These are like St. Louis is a country place. Like we're country out there. You know what I mean? So they're listening to No Limit. They're listening to Hypnotized Mind, like Suave House, a lot of heavy Suave House shit. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that was heavy. 8-Ball MJG, like that was it. UK, like those were the theme songs in St. Louis.
Was Tech Nine in the mix in there?
Not really. Tech Nine was I don't know. They didn't really connect with. He connected with like just a bigger audience almost. Like, for some reason he was like, he was on the bill with like ICP. Like he was like, out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Tech Nine has like.
But Tech Nine is KC though, so that's completely different, right? Like
that's right, completely.
That's a different world in Missouri.
Absolutely. Tech Nine is a weird. I don't want to say he's weird, but it's his whole cult following.
He's the biggest cult following.
He's got a huge cult following. It's very reminiscent of 3-6, where it's like you fuck with him or you don't.
Right.
And I have so much respect for him because he's in his lane.
Yep.
Yes.
He's in his lane. He's selling his merch. He's locked in with his.
He's making bread too because he's independent.
Bread, and getting caking up. Yeah.
His lane is so specific.
Yeah, strange.
It's so specific.
It's like horror, blood. Like it's just like 3-6 where they were like horror, pimp shit, and Tech Nine is horror and some gang shit. Like,
it's the ideal career if you ask me. Like
I think so, yeah.
He stays out of the way.
Yep.
We don't hear much about him. He's richer than God, probably. You know what I mean? Like
you have to like Tech Nine to know Tech Nine's dropping shit.
Yeah, it's weird because you could see him on a lineup with like Cottonmouth Kings or something.
Exactly.
And that crew would be like, "Yo, Tech Nine, I love Tech Nine. I have all the shirts, everything." He'd be like, "All right, cool. Well, what about Dr. Dre or something like that?" He'd be like, "Dre knows him. Dre respects him.
Right.
He's good over there. He's good in the mainstream rap. I'm sure even if you said the name to Drake would be like, yeah, I've heard Tech Nine.
Who doesn't? And like
Jay has spoke about him, like highly has spoke about him.
When you talk about him, when you hear the name Tech Nine, you just think independent hustle. Like he did it. He actually played the Tiny Desk.
Yeah.
Did he? Oh shit. I do want to talk about that.
I do too.
When did you move back out east? Was that right after college?
Right out of college.
Okay.
I graduated from Jackson State in summer 2000, and I landed an internship while I was finishing up at school. So I went back home to St. Louis for a couple weeks, and I moved to DC, and I've been here since then.
When did Tiny Desk and NPR come about for you?
It came about. It started in 2008. I didn't really become a part of it officially until around 2013, 2014. A lot of people don't know that it's been around for that long because it was really just like, I don't want to say a pet project, but it was just Bob Boylan bringing in bands that he loved to just come play at the desk. You know what I mean? There was no emphasis on blowing it up. It was just this thing where, hey, if here's the stuff that I love playing at the Tiny Desk. It wasn't until around 2013, I want to say 2013, 2014, when T-Pain came.
That's okay.
That's when we were like, oh, this could go viral. Like, at the time it was a thing where most people, I'm sure everybody in here knows that, T-Pain can actually sing without but he, for some reason, he never really put that out there until a colleague of mine who actually produced and brought him in, Frankie Kelly, was just like, hey, why don't you come in and try without auto-tune? And he bought in, and that was like the Tiny Desk first viral moment. People were like, yo, what is this? Who
was that was instrumental in getting that going? Who was that again?
Yeah, Bob Boylan, a guy named Bob Boylan and Stephen Thompson. They came up with the idea back in 2008. They were at South by Southwest. A woman by the name of Laura Hogan was performing. No, I'm sorry. What was her name? Well, I forget her name. No, not Laura Hogan. It was Lauren. Let me make sure I get this right. Laura Gibson. Okay. So Laura Gibson, she was performing at South by Southwest at this loud coffee shop. She was a quiet, soft-spoken artist, and not many people were really paying attention. So Bob and Steven just walked up to her and was like, hey, we should try this again where it's a little more quiet. Why don't you come to NPR and do it? And she did it, and they filmed it. And I'll never forget, at the end of the video, Bob was like, this may turn into something, this may not. And before you know it, he would do them, not as frequent as we do them now. Right now, we do about 3 a week. He would do maybe 1 or 2 a month. And it slowly started to pick up after that. And like I said, the explosion started with T-Pain. Yeah.
It's bigger than anything a musician can do now, basically. Like it revived Usher's career this year.
I feel like Tiny Desk is like
took over MTV Unplugged.
Yes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I was missing Unplugged, man. God, I was missing that.
It's very much an Unplugged thing, and it's very much a I feel like it puts you in a category of a certain type of artist.
Yeah.
If you can rock a Tiny Desk, you're at a certain level of musicianship. Just as
and not even level. I always say, I may not be a fan of everything that we put out, but the respect that I have for any artist that can come and do that it's just the highest level, because it's hard as an artist. When people walk in, some people walk in and they think this is a sound stage, or they think that this is He's like, no, this is an office. That's a real desk that someone works at when you're done playing. There are people that you're looking at. Not only are you looking at NPR staff 6 feet away from you, but behind the staff and the audience, they're just people working.
Right.
I was just gonna ask, what is the NPR setting like?
Well, see, this is the thing.
I always thought it was a library when I watched these videos. I think they're setting up a little stage in a library or something.
Nah, see, that's why I feel like
the office.
That's why I feel like the first time we got to see what it looked like when Usher had his tiny desk, man, because they turned it around.
Yeah,
and it was like,
that was
oh
a small
shit, it
part
looks
of
like
it.
that.
Yeah, it was. But yeah, you know, and it used to pre-COVID, there were way more people. I remember when we had, I think Lizzo and Taylor Swift had the biggest crowds, and it's not a big space; it's a small space. So there were like 200, 250 people like crammed into this.
I think the first one I saw was Raphael.
Sadiq?
I think so, but that was a later one. Well, did you do it twice?
He did it twice.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Old building. He did it once in an old building. He was one of like the first R&B people.
Yes, because that was when he had the short hair and the suit. And he was doing like that. What was that Red album?
Yeah, I know.
The one with Stevie Wonder on it.
Yeah, he had to sing. Everything sounded like it was from the 60s.
Yeah, that's the one I saw.
Yeah, we had Love That Girl and all that stuff. But yeah, that was back in the day. We were actually in a different building then. But yeah, I just had it's really hard. It's intimidating. You can't hide from anything.
Right.
You can't hide anything. You're fully exposed when you do this. Not only it's all stripped down, there's no, there's no monitors, they can't perform in ears, nothing. It's all stripped down. And then like people are just like feet away from you staring at you. And you could be watching someone over there cranking out on an edit. It's just like some people aren't even paying attention to you play.
That's wild.
Yo, did you know that there are vocal coaches on YouTube, many vocal coaches on YouTube that are like just dissecting Tiny Desk? And really, the one that really struck me was the Usher one, because how like I saw a few of them, they were like crying because of the notes that Usher was hitting on Tiny Desk. It's crazy.
I've seen those recently. It's like the reaction videos. I didn't see the Usher one, but I saw they did one with Yebba. One with Jasmine Sullivan too, just breaking it down, like going crazy off of someone's nose. I think that stuff is so cool.
I do too, man.
Yeah, but it was one of my favorites.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I want to know your top 3, B. If you can break it down to top 3.
Oh man. I'll tell you what. I try to take some of mine out of them, but sometimes I can't take mine out. So I take Mac Miller and I take Anderson .Paak and I put them in a stratosphere their own. Okay. They don't even count anymore. They're like between that one and Tyler, or those are the 3 they don't even count. I can't even rank them anymore. They're in a
Were you sitting in that you were sitting in for those?
Well, for Mac and Anderson .Paak, I produced those 2.
Awesome.
Tyler, I was able to watch. My Bob produced that one, but Tyler I was here for. I've been here for most of them, but some of my favorites. My favorite hip hop Tiny Desk of all time is Freddie Gibbs and Madlib. That what L. Michaels Affair was able to do with the Madlib beats and those samples and the way they played those out. Just Freddie Gibbs is just
yeah.
To see him do that in person was next level. And then also the story of it. Like, first of all, Madlib was late. We didn't know if Madlib was going to show up. You rarely see Madlib anywhere.
Right.
Yes.
We were like, is Madlib coming? Freddie, Gibbs like, man, I don't know. He
might. Isn't that crazy?
And like, he just appeared in all white. I swear to God, I never saw the man walk in. Before I knew it, he was sitting at the desk in all white, like, yo, I'm ready. Let's do this. You know what I'm saying? They took some shots. I remember they took some shots beforehand. But yeah, Madlib and Freddie Gibbs, that's my favorite hip hop show. If you haven't seen Nick Hakim's Tiny Desk,
no,
dude, it's one of my favorite. It's in my top 3 for sure because of the way they were able, like I said, everything is stripped down and he still made it sound like otherworldly. Like ill. Like his Tiny Desk was so sick. Who else, man? Sesame Street, man.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Sesame Street all day. Like that was a 2-day shoot. And when I tell you there were grown adults in here crying and chasing them like they were the Beatles, like it was the most fulfilling thing I've ever been a part of, man. Like truly, like it was so crazy.
I don't want to sound so cheesy, but seeing the Sesame Street Tiny Desk was one of the happiest things. Like, it's the coolest thing. It's so wholesome.
I sat there with a smile on my face the entire time, man.
Exactly. If you aren't reacting to that, if you aren't just filled with joy, you're like dead inside. Like it's crazy. But then, like, you know what we were able to do during the pandemic, man, was looking back on it now and just, hearing feedback from people that watch, like, I would have never been able to bring Tame Impala to the building. I was trying for years, but they weren't in control. So I was able to get them. I was able to get, Yeba, for example. So stuff like that. Some of the home shows I'm really, really proud of. Janae Aiko and Men I Trust, who, I'm just obsessed with. You know what I'm saying?
Didn't Pink Sweats do?
No, Pink Sweats didn't get Pink Sweats yet.
Or was that his own at home?
Yeah,
I think that might have been his at home. Okay.
Yeah, you get a lot of that.
People, I got it mixed up.
People are tapping in. People are tapping in on what we're doing.
I got a question for you. So at your guys' old studio, so this is like the studio with like the bookcases in the background, in the corner. Whose desk is that?
That's Bob's desk. The guy.
That's Bob's desk. Okay.
So literally, once the show wraps and we fade to black, all the instruments are struck. We strike and Bob goes back to work at that desk. It's crazy. When you all are in DC, you come pull up and check out a show. You're gonna be like, yo, this is just a desk. It's all it is.
So young ODB just jumped on his desk.
And
he's like,
it's so funny. It's so funny.
My family
we did a show with this band by the name of Idols. And he was so pissed because he wanted to stand on a desk for the whole performance. But we know, people who work here we know that it's only going to last us a couple more jumps and stands. Like, it's going to give because it's just a desk. So
not a stage.
Not a stage. So when they came, that's one of them. That's one of the most fun shows, by the way, too, because they were so dope. They were out of control. Yeah. But yeah, we had to talk him down because he was pissed. He's nothing but energy, first of all.
Yeah.
Like, he gets on stage and he's just mad.
Yeah.
Like he's like, I got some shit to get off my chest. And then starts
I was loving it. I mean, at one point, like, I forget his name on guitar, but he was like trying to run. I'm like, dog, your guitar is plugged in. You can only go so far. He was pulling. If you haven't seen this Tiny Desk, he was grabbing people from the crowd. Play this. He's like, play the drum. It was insanity. But no, it's just a desk. And if anybody else stands on it, it's gonna give.
It's got one more show.
Hey, question for you, B. Top 3 people that you want.
Oh man.
Oh, that's fun.
Number 1, Anita Baker.
Oh man, let's go.
I'll do it.
You can make that happen. That could happen.
She doesn't do a whole lot, but she recently got ownership of her masters again.
That's what I just heard. Yeah.
She's been teasing another tour, and she's well aware that I am obsessed, and I will do anything to get her here. Any publication, any interview I do, I just put it out there. Miss Baker, if you are listening right now.
Miss Baker's definitely listening to our podcast.
Miss Baker, if you're listening, we love you very much. Please.
Whatever you want, we can make it happen.
Yes.
Sade.
Okay.
Which is possible with the new album.
It's possible, yeah.
Supposedly
Now's the time.
They know. Like
okay.
Sony, they know. Listen, y'all, half my time
they all know.
I'm either fielding emails from people who want, because you know it goes both ways now.
Right.
A lot of people come at us, and we obviously reach out to Radiohead.
Oh my god, that'd be so cool.
They know too, because I forget his name on guitar. He's played Tiny Desk with this guy named Tamino. But they are well aware. It's a lot of them, man. Like,
I'm not sure if this guy is aware of Tiny Desk, but Sean Carter, is he aware of what's going on over there?
Kendrick Lamar knows as well. J. Cole, they know as well. Like, listen,
Johnny Greenwood, is that
Johnny Green? Yeah, Johnny Greenwood. That's right. Okay. Yeah, he played Tiny Desk. So they're well aware. Listen, your favorites are my favorites, and I'm always working on it. Trust me.
I got one more.
Who's your dream? Yeah,
I got one more though. Before you get to your dream, I got one more. Michael Bolton. Can we get a Michael Bolton Tiny Desk?
Viral again.
You may be on to something. I've never thought about that.
Thank you.
That's a cool one.
Man can sing. Okay.
Who do you got, Call?
Steely Dan.
Oh, that'd be sick.
I was close, man. I was close. They performed at this spot in Virginia called Jiffy Lube Live, and they were like considering until they saw how far it is from Jiffy Lube Live to DC, and they were like, nah. Damn. I was very close though. That'd
have been sick.
How about, has there been a Michael McDonald Tiny Desk yet?
He did a home concert. He was one of the first Tiny Desk home concerts that he did, and he was gracious enough. He went in his basement and just filmed in front of his iPhone. It was really cool.
Oh, that's what's up.
That was one of the very first Tiny Desk home concerts in 2020.
He's so cool. He's the best.
Ran nothing but classics too.
That's so cool.
I want to ask, who have you met through there where you're like, yo, this person is way cooler than I ever could have expected. They were just a pleasure to work with. I love working with them.
Usher, man. Honestly, bro. I mean, I didn't expect anything else, but the fact that he was such a professional and the fact that he just rolled with the punches, man. Like this is, you're asking a lot, especially depending on if you're talking about an artist who's used to getting what they want in terms of needs to sound this way. And we're telling, the biggest artists like, no, we're in control. You either come into our world or this ain't happening. But he was like such a professional, so cool, not really working the room, but just being kind to people, man. That shit just goes so far. I was just talking to my coworker the other day, like, this could be a high stress environment sometimes getting these shows done, but like, he was just kind and chill and just ran with the punches. Mind you, that was the weekend of Something in the Water. And he had been rehearsing like 3-4 hours before he came here.
Because that was Virginia, right?
Yeah, well, DC. No, he was in DC.
Okay, DC. Okay.
They had the festival in DC this year. And he had been rehearsing for that before he came over to do this. And he couldn't have been cooler.
He's the man.
Do you know in these moments, for example, the Usher, watch this moment, do you pinpoint that as it's happening and say, we got a viral moment?
That's it? Yeah.
Honestly, I didn't think it was viral, but after he laughed, if you go like the meme sort of cuts off.
Right.
Where he laughs.
He laughed about it. Yeah.
So when he laughed at it, he knew it was, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. But I will tell you, after I watched the show and after I watched the first cut, and I usually don't do this, I did hop on social media and I said, you guys have no idea what you guys are about to see. And I usually don't do that. I usually keep my mouth shut. I don't like teasing much, but I was so moved after I watched the first cut, and I knew it was special. I was like, you guys, you saw it.
Yeah. He put to bed any versus doubt, because this is around the time that everybody was like, okay, we're gonna do Usher and Chris Brown because this is after the locks and everything. So you're looking for the next best verses, and that he put that to sleep real quick.
I tweeted, I was like, you guys are gonna realize he is him when you watch this.
Yeah,
it's really him.
Oh my god.
Think about the shit he didn't perform. Are you
right?
Yes,
And the stuff that he performed in the way that he performed it too.
He's got so much shit.
And then his background singers.
Yeah.
His two, Eric Bellinger and Vito.
Yeah, stars in their own right.
Come on.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was really good. And it was such a blessing for that to happen when it happened, because that was really some of the first shows when we actually came back into the building. We were trying to like we have to really come with it these first few shows. So
that's fucking crazy.
I have a weird request. I would like to see Pharrell do "In My Mind."
Oh, let's go.
Desk.
Let's go.
I mean, crazy. Pharrell knows too.
He knows. Yeah.
I love
everybody knows. Everybody knows. Everybody one that needs to know has got to.
One of my favorite sleepers. One of my favorite sleepers is Roy.
Trust me, the hook is out, y'all. Like, Pharrell definitely knows.
All right, how about Kenna? Can I make a Kenna request? Let's get Kenna famous again. Say goodbye to love, Tiny Desk.
I'm trying to think of mine. Bobby Caldwell. I think he's sick right now. Or no, that's Christopher Cross. Bobby Caldwell's good. He's still performing.
Caldwell's still out here?
He just performed like 4
Bobby
years
Caldwell's
ago.
not doing too well. Like
he's not, right?
Yeah, no, Bobby Caldwell's not. Christopher Cross is still out here touring.
Okay,
so that's what it was. I have him backwards.
Yeah.
Both will be amazing.
Yes, because I saw him right before the pandemic. I saw Bobby, and that was sick.
Has Mike Jones gotten a call yet?
Who?
Damn it. That could be yes, that could be no. We'll never know. Don't even tell. We have a couple of housekeeping questions. We always ask on this podcast for our guests. So I'm going to pass it to Neek, and I know you're very busy, and we will get you on your way after that, sir.
We like to build strong relationships between our guests and the fast food industry. So what I would like to know is, what is the Cuzzin B meal? Where is it? What is it? And be very specific, because we're going to offer it to the nation.
Fast food?
Yes, it has to be fast food. And it can be regional, but it can't be like local.
Got it. I'm easy, man. Chick-fil-A, 4-piece strip, large waffle fry, cold lemonade, man.
Cuzzin B
and
meal.
Sauce?
I'm ketchup guy.
With the chicken.
With the chicken, man. With the chicken, you eat ketchup with the chicken?
Yeah, ketchup with the chicken. Okay.
Okay. That's easy.
I like that.
Yeah,
I don't have to go too far to source that. That's easy.
Man, come on.
We'll make that happen.
Get everybody that strips, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Yo, Trav.
Okay, Cuzzin B, we are developing our DJ biopic cinematic universe, just like the Marvel cinematic universe. So in this DJ biopic cinematic universe, who is playing Cuzzin B? And it can be anybody, dead or alive, within the entertainment realm.
Oh man, who is playing me? God.
It could be multiple people too.
Who is
yeah, that's
Cuzzin B in a movie? God. Let's do who's Denzel's son? Not Denzel, but his son.
John David Washington.
John David Washington.
I like that.
Play young Cuzzin B.
That's a good pick. Cuzzin B, you got one album to take on a stranded island. What album is that?
We're taking Hotter Than July. Stevie Wonder.
Oh, Colin, you just picked that up. No. You picked up the other one.
I picked up
Intervisions.
And the other one with I Love Every Little Thing About You.
Right.
In my mind,
not talking book. That's
in my mind, something like that, maybe.
In my mind.
Yeah.
With sunglasses.
We've asked this before on the podcast. I like to revisit this question. If you could have one item from the grocery store for the rest of your life, you never have to buy this item ever again. What do we got?
Cheez-Its.
Jesus.
That's so quick. Let's go.
Easy. Done and done.
All right,
I have a real problem with Jesus, man.
Well, one more thing.
One more.
So we need one song to add to our 5 on 5 playlist on Spotify. What song is that?
Let's do Saba. Few Good Things featuring Black Thought.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
Hell yeah. Before we get out of here, let people know where they can find you on socials. Let them know anything about your DJ schedule coming up or any projects you're working on that you'd like to share.
Yeah, man. You can follow me at DJ Cuzzin B, DJ CUZZINB on IG and on Twitter. I'll be in LA doing some gigs pretty soon over the next couple of weeks. I will be DJing 2 nights at NPR's 15-year anniversary concert at the 930 Club. So we'll be doing 2 nights there. I'll be at the Brixton Rooftop in a couple weeks in DC. I think that's November 11th. I'll be there. And if you're in Maui, Hawaii, you might see me on the beach because your boy's going on vacation next week.
Hey,
man on vacation.
Let's go. Hey, before we get out of here, too, I got to ask you first. I got to commend you on the BET Awards appearance.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you. Tell us, as outsiders looking in, give us a quick run through of what the fuck that was like.
It was surreal. This was my first time experiencing anything like that. So we took our PA guy, Jan Hughes, and then I went with my colleague Sydney Madden, who's the co-host of our podcast, Louder Than a Riot. So when we got there on the red carpet, they were like, a PR told, this is Tiny Desk. So there was this big whiteboard, and they erased whatever name was on there, and they wrote Tiny Desk on there, right? Mind you, there's a mile line long of press, and they just put the sign up, say NPR's Tiny Desk, and everybody's like, whoa, and all the cameras started facing us and snapping pictures. It was really cool, man. It was more so, it really, that nomination sort of really validated the effort. Like, people are really listening and seeing what we're doing in hip hop culture. You know what I mean? Especially thinking like Tiny Desk wasn't built for that. It wasn't created for that. And hip hop infiltrated that. You know what I mean? Hip hop infiltrated, the culture infiltrated Tiny Desk, and it was a proud moment. The coolest moment though was I was interviewing, someone was conducting an interview with me, and I was talking, and I looked over and I saw David Banner being interviewed by someone over on the other side. And I came up with David Banner when I was at Jackson State. He was getting his start, he was a part of a group called Crooked Letters. But I saw him in the corner of my eye, and he caught me as well. And we were both looking at each other and just shaking our heads like, damn, all the way from Jackson, we got here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Went over, embraced them real tight. And it was a great time. It was a great moment. And I'm super grateful for even being acknowledged and being in that space, because I'm just a hip hop nerd from St. Louis, man.
I want to give you your flowers, man. That's why I wanted to have you
on the appreciate show. Y'all. Thank you for being patient with me, man. I'm trying to get it all together, man. Honestly, there's like this shift going on in my career and in my life with everything going on. And I'm trying to manage it all and keep it all still. And
of course,
I appreciate you for inviting me, man. This was hella fun, man. I needed
absolutely.
No, thanks for being on this with us, man.
We'll have to have you back, and you can be the guest judge, and we'll get Ninth on here. And
hell
we
yeah,
can talk with him. We'll see what he wants
he
to come
can
up
talk
with.
much more than I can talk. Trust me.
Oh, I know.
Listen, fella, seriously, like let me know if when you're hitting the DMV, man. I gotta roll out the red carpet, and you gotta come check out the Tiny Desk.
Yes, definitely.
We love that. Thank you, man.
Definitely.
Before we get off here, any breadcrumbs you can leave us with any upcoming Tiny Desk that you're going to be like, watch this?
We are ending. We got something. Be on the lookout like the end of November. We got a hip hop legend backed by the most unexpected band that you would ever see. And we're going to shake it up before the end of 23. For the end of 22.
Let him know. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, Cuzzin B.
Cuzzin B.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
make sure you follow. Make sure you support Tiny Desk. Make sure you go see Cuzzin B. We just DJ'd together out in Portland not too long ago, and it was.
We got to do that again, man. I miss PDX, man. I got to get back out there to get some good gigs and some good food.
Yeah,
Come
on. Let me know
it.
when you get out here again, man.
Yeah. We're gonna chop it up. I'll be out there soon for sure.
Okay, good.
B, thank you so much. Take care, man.
Thank y'all.
Peace.
Are we staying on?
Wow.
We're staying on. We're on.
Wow.
Dang. Legend. Go.
Very fucking cool.
Very fucking cool. It's always an honor to be able to call up people and get them on the show, and he was super stoked to finally have some time to be able to do it. So
definitely
shout out to Cuzzin B. We wrapped up this past weekend. We were all together, which we should talk a little bit about that before we roll out. Boys were out in Vegas.
Boys were out in Vegas during We Were Young Festival.
When we were young festival.
When we were young festival, yes.
Both days, although only one went off.
Right.
My Lord.
That was interesting. But shout out to the good people over at Emporium, though. They, they did the boys right, though. Like, they did right by y'all. So
yeah, I love playing arcade games over there.
Shout out to Emporium.
Yeah, Emporium's great. Area 15. Travis came out Saturday. I was out Friday. Neek and I ripped it over at We All Scream with Greg Michael Davis.
Shout out, Greg.
Yeah, shout out, Greg.
Shout out We All Scream in Corner Bar Management. Thank you for that.
Shout out. We had such a good time. Friday was so much fun. Chris Villa showed up. Trey showed up. Alana Rabin showed up. All great friends of the guests of the pod. But no Charlie Chill Out.
No Charlie.
No Charlie Chill Out.
Man.
Yeah, too chilled out.
Real mad about that.
Too chilled out.
Yeah. Charlie, you owe us one, buddy.
Yeah.
If you're listening to the show, we'll be cashing in on that very soon.
Yes, we will.
No, we had a great time though. Sunday, the boys all watched the finale of
House of Dragons.
House of Dragons.
Hot D.
I'm cool talking about that.
Oh yeah, no, we're talking.
It was great, dude. It was a good finale.
It was great.
God, the finale was so good. Yo, Viserys said in like the second episode, yo, you can't tame these dragons, man. And what happened? What happened? Them little boys try to tame the dragons, play stupid games, get stupid prizes, man.
I love that saying.
Oh man,
we got about a year and a half until the next
year and a half. Yeah, they announced season 2 was about to begin, so about to begin filming. So yeah, that's good.
Maybe we'll be in it. Maybe they'll call up the boys.
I hope so, man.
Wouldn't that be something?
I hope so, because in the books of Velaryon,
there's a podcast in the books.
There's a podcast in the books, yes. But Corlys Velaryon, he had a couple bastard sons, so one of his bastards takes over Sea Smoke. So let's hope that happens in the show.
Yeah, wild. Yeah, we have a year and a half. So
we do.
I would love to see us written in on the show.
I would too.
I mean, yes,
what the hell role us three would play?
I mean, since Neek and I are on the darker side, we'd probably be Valerians because
definitely gonna need a wig.
Yeah. Oh no, without a doubt, they all had wigs. So, but Neek, if we are bastard sons, though, we wouldn't have to necessarily need a wig.
We might not even need a wig.
Right. We could be bastards here. And we would be dragon riders too if we bastards, because some of the
I feel like we deserve to be main characters next season.
Thank you.
That's all I'm gonna put.
I would be flea bottom by choice.
You by choice.
Like, hey, you can live. You can live in the castle.
Hey, would you be betting on them little kid fights?
All of it.
Oh, you're one of those guys.
Yeah. They'd be like, "Come on up to the castle. It's time to come back," and be like, "I'm not going."
Because you know that little dick of a king, you know that he's fucking them girls in the brothels, and then they're having kids, and what he's doing with those kids is he's putting them in the fights.
Yeah,
his bastard sons.
That little dick of a king.
Getting rid of him.
He's a little dick of a king, man.
Yeah, that's I love that show. I love the little lands that they create. I love the idea of having to ride through a massive storm just to get to this little land.
Right.
It's the show's fucking great.
The
show's fucking great. But no, we had a great time in Vegas. Shout out to everybody that hosted us this week. We got to pop in on PETA. We got to pop in on Wisdom. We saw Shred. We saw so many guests in the pod.
Shout out to B-Stang.
Yeah, shout out to B-Stang.
We saw a lot of people, man.
We did see a lot of people this week.
We were outside a lot.
We saw Cricket on Friday too.
Saw Cricket.
Cricket. Missed Angel. Angel, you owe us.
Yeah. But no, we saw about 10 guests of the podcast, so it's awesome. Shout out to everybody we saw this weekend.
Neek, your boy over at We All Scream on Sunday. So, Neek.
Shout out to my brother for real.
For real. We're gonna have him on the
currently out in the DC area.
Yes, and we need to have him on the pod to talk about ciphers. So, funny story. Right, we are at We All Scream, and there's a cipher going on, B-boy cipher. Everything's going good, and I look over, and Nick is throwing stuff into my little hoodie pocket. He throws his phone in there. I get a wallet in there. Takes off his glasses, puts his glasses in there. Like, Nick, what's going on? Like, I'm getting out there. Like, oh. Then he looks up at DJ, gives him one of these. Means loop the brake.
First of all, flex. A flex.
It was a flex. It was a flex.
If somebody did that to Neek would have been like,
yeah. It was
you gotta know the DJ. You gotta know the DJ. Loop the brake.
You said loop the brake.
Yeah.
Yo, Neek proceeded to sun every motherfucker out there. Yeah. And it was one of those moments where, like, yo, that's my friend. No, straight up. He sunned every single person out there. Gets up, they pull him aside, and they're like, okay, you got to be the judge now.
You got to be the judge, secret judge.
So Neek proceeded to judge this cipher, and it was great. Good time to be alive.
It was a blast.
Yeah.
It was fun. Off the wall, that party we were at is the first gig I've ever done. The first time I ever got paid to DJ was playing for that party 10 years ago. So it's great to see them at We All Scream, which is where it used to be, Beauty Bar. And Lamont being one of like my DJ for real being one of like my childhood friends. Obviously great to get to see him back in Las Vegas. And it was cold. It was a cold night out. Cool. So it wasn't super cracking. And it is a party that caters to dancers. So there's a lot of dancers in there. But there was a lot of soft ass energy going on. Nobody was really getting down, and like the breaks.
This is where the sun comes into play.
Oh, so funny.
And so I was like, let me up the ante a little bit.
Fed up. He was fed up. You know when those basketball players get in. You know when Kobe gets it, fourth quarter. You know you down. Kobe's shooting pretty good. Energy. And then it's that
raise
time.
The stakes a little bit.
He went into Mamba mode. He really did, man. Saw the look in his eye. He went.
I love that. Well, gentlemen, I think we can wrap it there. Once again, shout out to Cuzzin B. Shout out to Vegas for hosting us this weekend. Incredible time. We will be back next week with another special guest. God, I'm gonna go back and watch all these Tiny Desks. There's so many.
I know.
But yeah, shout out, and we will see y'all next week. Until then,
watch this.
One of us has to end it.
Our hands are all